Guys, welcome back, and we have got a game on our hands. Sound, Shocks, Bogdan, Twist, and Snacks making up the X-Minus boys starting over on the CT side of things. Classic Eyeballers roster starting on T and starting with a very proactive push towards top banana as well. Already getting rid of that initial aggression from the CT side. Bogdan forced to retreat with the utility. And unfortunately for that X-Finest roster, as they retreat in one place, they push in another, and Pep's already and waiting to punish.
This is an interesting lineup. Not the five we were expecting from X-Finest, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Return from Snacks here as well. Taking out that lurker back towards the A side of things. Everyone else have grouped up ready for this B push. A little bit of a stack, I was going to say, easily held up by a smoke. He throw it on the roof. Doesn't matter though, caught with a flash in his hand. Bogdan goes down, Twist overrunning the back of the bomb site as well, leaving it all on the shoulders of Sound, and he can only take one with him. The bomb will be planted now in the 3-on-1 for Eyeballers. There's a kit back there in the spawn, I believe. It's shot out away slightly, as you can see. And I mean, we've seen Snacks pull off ridiculous pistol clutches, especially if we roll the years back quite a bit. Missed cobblestone. But this 1-on-3 I don't think is going to be all that winnable.
Nope. JW's having none of it. Toying with his prey before he finds the kill. And I think there you've maybe started to see a couple of the problems that we might have for this X-Finest lineup. Obviously, Bogdan, formerly their coach, stepping up to play is no mean feat to try and find that kind of consistency and find that level, right? When you were there once before, but you've got to find it all again. And a little bit of, small mistakes creeping in for both sides. The smoke towards CT initially missed, not really punished by the CT side. Bogdan caught on a timing with limited firepower to work with, and, well, even more limited firepower in this one. Snacks buys up into the scout to try and get something done, but is insta-dinked down to 16. And with just pistols around him, he really needs some of those early tags to make these 5.7s and Deagles just that little bit more effective.
Always the hope. So it's also nice if the pistols can deal out the damage. As you can see, that isn't really working for them so far though. Bogdan packed down also, leaving him and Snacks both on the brink of death. Shock's going to be forced out of A. He was the one man kind of playing for the info around mid. I like that they're not really bothering with the rotate quite yet. They don't 100% know if it's coming true. It likely is going to, but if it does, they can just give themselves the chance to save over what they have here. I mean, with the two players low health, the retake wouldn't really be worthwhile. Play this round out again in the following.
Lead a decent amount of util as well. Eyeballers not taking any chances with it. Making absolutely sure they clear their corners on the way in. I would be surprised if we don't see some hunting now, given that Shine, JW, and Flusher all opted for the MAC-10s. Definitely an opportunity to maybe try and take a little bit more away from your opposition, get a little bit more cash flowing into that T side. JW starts to go for a little bit of a ponder down mid, and indeed they are going to exit this bomb site early. And just have a little bit of a prod, see if you can maybe do a little bit more damage. Of course, on their map picks are going to be feeling confident they can get it over the line, and yeah, JW, he's feeling very confident, going to start swinging his way up banana. Not too much longer left on that bomb, though, so X-Finest should be able to hold on to the majority of these pistols.
Yeah, I mean, you may as well try and throw the MAC-10s in, but you also would like to be keeping all 5 alive, and that's what they decide is the priority in the end. There's only some 5.7s, a Deagle and a Scout, of course, that they could actually be finding for themselves, if you're not counting the extra MAC-10 money that could have potentially been picked up, of course. But they have the same chance here in this round. They'll be up against the exact same, a small little investment in onto Shocks as well, because he died just to get a nade, see if he can do some damage, maybe help the Scout out. This time around, it's again a bit of a stack over towards B, just not quite as heavy. They do show that bit of mid presence.
Nice little nade stack as well. JW tagged up. Retake towards banana. Molotov will start to make it a little difficult, but Sound's got utility. Nice nade stack to follow up, but Sound is still alive and kicking, and there's bodies here to protect him as well. Twist on the corner. Shine knows he's got a kill. Tag deep into the back of that smoke. Sound goes down, but now the counter flash is good. Shine a little bit better, however. 3 quick kills on that MAC-10. And the round is as good as done. Already hunting in the back lines, of course, is JW. And well, Snacks might get a bit of a reprieve here or not. Shine is feeling it today. His 6th kill brings up the 3-0 scoreline and brings up the first rifle buy for X-Finest as well.
Yeah, nice little eco ace from Shine right there. Tons of money off of the Mac 10. Well, they're all likely to just go ahead and keep these weaker weapons. The Mac 10s, they can all be quite useful. Play a bit of a quicker round here, perhaps. See if you can catch someone getting aggressive in these in initial moments. Although I don't think X-Finest will really get too aggressive, knowing that it is pretty likely these weaker weapons are carried over. See, have a look at the plan. Nothing too crazy early on. Back to a more standard setup. Only the 2 towards B initially. A little bit of utility to slow at the half wall. They will lose the actual banana control, and as you can see, Flush, I believe, already charged right up. Did actually take a ton of damage. Was hoping maybe for a little bit more there in terms of the timing on the corner, but didn't quite work out.
Need to do a decent amount of chip damage at the very least. Sound has gone down.
Overall, though,
odd
he's taken
HP.
a lot of nades and managing to live. He took 2 or 3 in the last round, was on like 20 health afterwards. Now he's taken 2 and is still on 56. He's both unlucky and lucky at the same time somehow.
Have to see if that luck can continue. At the moment, the stack being called the right way by X-Finest. Snacks posted on the AWP out towards long. 3 and a 4th player joining shortly. Eyeballer's going to walk right into this one. Smoke goes out to at least obscure the vision of the AWP, but Shock's still alive and kicking on short, and with no control anywhere else, it has to be this A-side hit, surely, for the Eyeballers now. Brought down low, but he's just the bait. JW's nade seals the deal, and now it starts to get that little bit more awkward. Re-aggression well timed from Twist, but he can only get the one. Shocks has to trade it and does. Buys just a little bit more space as JW left in the 1v2. Snacks inside of the site, whiffs 1, but on just 26 HP here with a recovered M4. 18 seconds on the clock to try and get something going. Molotov completely misses the mark, and Snacks is there for the punish. X-Finest able to get that first rifle round on the board. It's expensive though. 3 players go down. And of course, with it being a complete bonus round for Eyeballers, there's a lot of cash available to rebuy.
Yeah, I mean, overall, forcing a ton of reinvestment, of course, and on a map like Inferno, if they can break X-Finest down onto an eco here in this following round, they'll have a really good chance to start building up this T side for themselves. So let's see. Even after this buy, there's still a bit of money left that could afford a few rifles in the following if they wanted to keep the pressure on. So X-Finest are going to have a tough time here. It's definitely not going to be an easy couple coming rounds, and well, it doesn't get any easier with the initial pick already going the way of Eyeballers. They have a player trapped forward at the half wall as well, and I don't know how JW gets that. Throws his own molly down to flush out the peak, still manages to turn away from the flash before he swings back and lands the shot. What a ridiculous opening sequence from JW, and it's a 5-on-3 with 1:15 still, so they do not have to rush this.
Still all the time in the world to work this one out, as you said, and a little bit of that inexperience from Sound showing through there. He was throwing the utility in towards Banana, but just exposed a little bit too much of himself on the corner without the knowledge that JW was sat lying in wait. Both vets picking up the AWPs is an interesting one to see. JW, understandable. Snacks, I didn't have in my book as an AWPer, but picking it up on this CT side and thus far been solid with it.
Definitely
This round, however,
where he opted, yeah.
Looking to roll it back. This time, however, he's not going to have any opportunity to do anything at all. It's a full exec into an empty bomb site. Just being cautious with it again. Eyeballers making absolutely sure that they get this one right. Don't want to give anything up. Little do they know it's a 3-man stack over towards the A site, so as the bomb site's taken freely, Pepsil's in a really solid position to maybe try and punish this. He is going to go for a little bit of a wander. The timing's nasty, though. Shocks will get a freebie. And at this point, 4 rifles on 3. I think Eyeballers would do well just to save what they've got.
Yeah, X-Finest, they're happy enough to carry over their 3 weapons. It's not really going to afford them a full buy behind it, unfortunately. Bogdan might just have enough to drop 1 rifle over, and that would definitely make it worthwhile. He'll have 1 player maybe left on a pistol or an SMG. But this is a problem. Eyeballers come straight back after causing decent damage in that bonus round and capitalize on it massively. Give them 4 players as well. Good help. In in terms of their own economy now as well, because they already had money on 3 or 4 players there, even if they were to lose that round. So now they're flushed, and on the other hand, X-Finest, they're going to be scraping their bite together. Bogdan, as I said, can drop one at least. Does give a rifle over to Twist, I think it was. There's a FAMAS as well there for sound. They've actually worked out the buy slightly better than I thought they would, since Shox was able to drop the FAMAS. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty decent buy, but they need something more to this round now. Playing out the default so far hasn't been working too well for them.
Haven't got the utility to extend that default out either, so it needs to be something special. Bogdan thinking about the second mid peak, and he's swinging the apartments regardless of the Molotov. Utility again, though, is doing so much early punishment over towards B that there's really no need for the aggression. Twist down on 20, has had to fall back with a flash to enable sound. We've seen him in this position at least once before. Hot flash goes over the top. There should be a counter coming. Twist is ready and waiting for exactly this moment, but the timing just not quite there. Shine, the HE, actually finishes the job, and Twist Molly will find at least a response. So on 20 HP, he's managed to hold on to evens, keep it in the 4-on-4. Question is, how much more can he realistically do, and how much longer can X-Finest afford to keep this 3-man A stack, knowing their only player on B is down on 20 points of health?
Down in a solid position, though, to hopefully just get one drop off and play this angle here off of Snacks, who, well, can do a really good job of holding his ground here. Allowing for the flank, actually, to come in from Shox. Gets a little bit too aggressive, perhaps, and does end up giving his life away to JW. And while having a look at the scoreboard right now, you see it's JW and Flusha left in this clutch. These are two players that you do not want to mess with, especially when together. It's gonna be Snacks who finds the op battle. There we go. That was the bomb actually moving around long alone. Flusha's gonna have a tough time now recovering it. Has to force the issue. Does have a smoke as well, actually, to give him some access towards the bomb site, but he's forgotten the bomb. That's not gonna make things easy at all. It's unfortunate, but either way, didn't win the fight in towards the bomb site. Perhaps because he realized he didn't have the bomb. That probably would have distracted me and taken the fight as well. Either way, it's a round, again, bouncing back for X-Finest. This time, though, it cannot be a sole round. They need to start building off the back of it. Otherwise, it's just going to be impossible to get any sort of stability going on this CT side.
Have managed to save the double AWP setup. Grab JW's, Twist has got it.
Double-edged sword, in my opinion, on Inferno. Make those retakes very difficult.
Yeah, I think how flimsy the B hold has been will probably have influenced that decision, though. It's not been the strongest thing in the world. The utility, especially from eyeballers, has been doing a ton of damage before they've even been seen. So having that AWP maybe gives you a little extra utility. You know, Twist, half decent spawn here, could look to go proactively with it, try and peek down, try and put the pressure back on eyeballers. Or he just plays in that anchoring role, right? Sit on the corner, take the first shot, bait sound in a little more than he's perhaps been able to previously. Definitely feels like they're going to need some more consistent success over towards that B-bomb site. Eyeballers, last couple of rounds, if they targeted that B site early, they could have taken the round very cleanly. Just a matter of them working it out at this point. So it's going to be a 3-man play to start things off over towards this B site. Sound, initially thinking about aggression, has just decided to double back. And as the opening engagements come through, it's a lot of damage done by Shox before he goes down. Sapek down to 20. For the first time in a while, it's a solid opening duel for X-Finest.
Yeah, they didn't keep the man advantage, but they do have the damage in their favor, of course. So still a relatively strong position to be in, other than the fact that right now they have so little info. I mean, there's still a minute and 12 seconds on the clock. They've been forced back into the back of a bomb site here, up on the balcony and in Graveyard. And then on B as well, they're also lacking any sort of real info. They were hoping that Molly would confirm that there's no one, at least for the moment, ready to fully commit towards B, which is allowing the rotation to come in. But as you can see now, with that lack of info, it's given eyeballers the opportunity to move back towards this B-bomb site and actually find a massive weakness. Just the Sound also begins to rotate himself around towards the bomb site. It's better in the long run, though. He should at least have a chance here. Delay in towards the bomb site potentially, although this Molly makes things quite difficult. Takes the fight from the coffin. If he can just stay alive, that would be ideal. Unfortunately, he cannot keep the numbers in their favor. The delay, though, at least does a small bit, and, well, a pretty big gap there as well. Gave Twist an opportunity. Found it above the smoke either way, but it wasn't the perfect smoke towards the CT spawn at all.
Here we go, double AWP retake, as you said, the second edge of that sword. Twist and Snacks both with AWPs on this retake. Bogdan on the rifle. making noise. He's being loud about it. Shine gets the freebie, repositions well. And at this point, how do you break the deadlock? Twist scoped in. They've heard him. They want to try and chase it a little bit as well. Shine doing what he can to make it awkward. Twist hits one. They should at least be able to keep this rifle in towards the B site. He should go down with the bomb, and indeed he will. But again, it's that lack of consistency which is undoing the CT side at the minute. Yes, they save those double ults, but there's not a lot of money on anyone else. And without that consistency on the CT side, the economy is never going to be in your favor.
Yeah, and without the economy, very little chance you're going to get much going in the game. Oh, shot you, I think I see in there. Nice, for shocks.
Classic.
Yeah, here on Inferno, Nuke as well. Kind of the two maps where you'd want to be flying that. Anubis might have a few nice little places as well, actually, where it could be pretty good now.
Have to wait and see. We're not going to get Anubis today, unfortunately.
Got one earlier, it was quite fun.
It's a good little map. Can't beat the classics, though. Good Inferno. Plenty of room for a little bit of magic, like Shocks here, pushed through. Getting that initial peek into the apartments. XM up close and personal where it does its best work. A relatively passive opening exchange, but even with those just initial nades drop down, you can see what it does to X-Finest. One smoke, 4 flashes. Really not the utility you need as a CT side to extend and push the T's back for longer and longer. You need smokes over towards Beam. They've got none. A full XX still in the back pocket of Eyeballers should they wish to utilize it. You can see what it's causing here as well. Rapid rotations, Twist trying to get into position where maybe those flashbangs can do some work over towards B. And it's left Snacks and Shocks out on a limb over towards this A site, which Eyeballers are looking to target. Utility available to flash out to start blinding that AWP off his angles of choice. Shocks up close and personal, a lot to do. Snacks gets one as Shocks there to match. Has bought them half a chance here inside of the site. Flusher has dealt with the crocodile, but he needs to find more and does. Through the smoke, he's got the AWP of Snacks, and that's an afterplant. 2 on 3, a couple of flashbangs, all that remain to get this CT side into things. Decoy goes out. HE chips away at Bogdan beautifully. But this is not the ideal afterplant. Flusher, stuck inside of the site, is going to need some lightning fast headshots. And he's got the HE out. The timing is awful. He chips away, but it's surely not enough. JW left in the 1 on 3. Taps away at the first man. Sounds the next one in is Crosshairs, and he's got him down to 14, up against the AWP of Snacks. Switches to the pistol, it's Twist, trying to push him down, trying to find him, and it's not going to happen. JW, the 1v3 to find a 6th round, and the 1v3 that just puts X-Finest right back on those ropes. The CT side is broken, courtesy of a little bit of Swedish magic.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough on the retake, though. The 1v3, he should not have had any opportunity to win that. You get to peek a little bit too early over Graveyard. If that was 2 seconds later, maybe, you have the other player up close ready to swing with him, and it's just impossible at that point for him to win it, basically. And then you have the up all the way back near Moto still, basically. So, no ability really to trade off of each other. JW, he capitalizes on that mistake, and it gives Eyeballers a great opportunity to start running away with his T-side once again. Already the initial kill goes their way. It's a full eco from X-Finest as well, other than a couple of pistols being upgraded, and they're not even going to get much of a chance to do anything. And already the B-bomb site's gone. We get a Zeus from Snacks, though. Let's see.
Fingers crossed. The round's gone, but you can still have a giggle while you're at it. Pep saw a little bit isolated, actually, down towards Mexico. I thought maybe that pushing Deagle finds a headshot, disposes of an AK. That would have been a nice one. Not to be, as Snacks is going to be pushed down, and Sapek a little too ready. Reaction times always wane as you get older, and, well, Sapek clearly winning that one. Shocks left with just the P250, not even going to be pushed here. Again, Eyeballers surviving with 5 alive, building that bank up after a couple of dodgy rounds. And this is their map pick, but with 7 T-side rounds on Inferno already in the back pocket, they're going to be feeling very confident that they can get this one over the line nice and quickly.
Yeah, I mean, looking like it could be the case, but we've had so many games where a massive lead like this is taken, and then once things start to go wrong, it's just, you can't you can find your way again. So I'm not going to judge too early. We know X-Fine still have very capable players. See if they start to wake up anytime soon. Will have to be either this gun round or the next if they even want to have a chance at getting a 5-round half. So now would be ideal. Snack's looking like he wants to actually take this mid B. Not extending himself too much, just hoping to catch the timing on the shot right there. Nothing too crazy. Either way, eyeballers in towards their default again, and molly into apps. Stop anyone from obtaining info with the early jump peak, and out whatever initial utility X-Finest they're willing to put down without too much of a probe being needed, once they're putting the pressure on now soon enough, I'd imagine. We're seeing a very overall passive B hold from X-Finest that makes the CT side quite difficult without information to work with, so I'd like to see them maybe change that up in the future.
Yeah, it feels like after those first couple of rounds where they tried it and got punished, they've not been so keen. Sound, though, is going to go for a wander up here. Flashed in. Takes the aggressive stance. JW and Flusher here and waiting, but it's a rough old fight for Flusher. Sound will get the better of him. And with the man advantage established now, you can see JW just spamming away down Banana, trying to keep them at least halfway conscious of that B site, but it's a slaughter in towards the bracket. Snacks and Bogdan combining for 3. And this round, well, you said they needed some rifle rounds on the board, and Shox has managed just that. A solid entry. All 5 players kept up. Good money saved across. Good firepower maintained. And then just as the economy starts to bend a little bit for the eyeballers as well. It is unfortunately a tech pause that we've got here, so not really looking at anything too smart or too tactical, but it is about the time, Dean, where you'd expect to maybe see the eyeballers take that pause, right? And start to think through, okay, the economy's not quite where we want it to be anymore.
Yeah, I mean, 2 players are rough for the buy. Shine can just about get his rifle. You have a flash behind the AK and armor if he wants. Sapik, though, is going to be left with something weaker. So, yeah, you lose this one. Suddenly, X-Finest go up towards 5 rounds before you even get the buyout again. And that would leave them with a decent enough chance at maybe even still coming out with 8, which would be a fantastic recovery from the scoreline they were looking at a moment ago. So, yeah, I'd agree. That would have been where eyeballers would take their tactical pause anyway. So, definitely happy with the few moments that they had to chat right there. Looks like we're actually getting back into it. Thought it was going to last a little bit longer.
We got lucky.
Maybe you've jinxed it by saying that now, though. So we'll see. 3 players are going to crash before the end of this round.
The counter caster curse. It's a rare sight, but we've pulled it out here. See how it pans out. Again, that lack of economy has caused some sacrifices for the eyeballers. Sapek dropping down to the Mac 10. Limited util as well. Those Molotovs doing a ton of work. Twist flashed into Banana, grabbing 2 through the corners of a smoke. Not the start eyeballers would have wanted into this one. With now just that lack of firepower, lack of manpower to work with, it becomes increasingly difficult for them to get anything done. X-Finest not relenting either. Aggression into the apartments. A 2-man setup now with Shox and Snacks, and Bogdan remaining to try and hold on to the bracket. Pepsor at least deals with him, but now Snacks nestled into the boiler becomes a major issue. Timing on this could well be everything. Shine and Pepsor looking to work their way round towards long. Snacks, I don't think has seen it, but they'll be aware there's gaps. Twist starting to rotate in to try and patch them. With aggression down second mid from Shox as well, they really are starting to zero in on the position of these remaining T-side players. Shine and Pepsor, I mean, if they can get the bomb down and find a couple of kills here, that would be a result. A 2v4 to even get that plant would be a real success. And it does look like Shine should be able to do so. Pepsor clearing his way in towards the pit, and indeed, it will be a plant for Pepsor. Wants to get proactive with it, knowing that they haven't got the apps control, but that exposes him to Snacks. A free kill. We saw JW pull off a 1v3 earlier on in this first half. This, even more of an ask. Shine stuck in towards the site. Players swarming from all possible angles, and Twist has got his number. A 4th round on the board for X-Finest, and now a real opportunity at recovery as the economy will near enough completely break for the eyeballers, and at least a single buy in the back pocket now available for X-Finest.
Yeah, they've clearly got some fight in them. It's just about whether they can manage to win out these these kind of swing rounds that they need to go their way if they want any shot at still bringing out a decent half here, and finally they have started to do so. Money not in the worst position ever, so they can afford at least some pistols, a few nades, even a couple players getting Kevlar there on the Eyeballers side, so they still have a little bit to worry about. They'll be aiming for a relatively clean round here, and we'll see what Eyeballers can do. Can they take a couple players at least with them? Try and keep that damage on before they get their own guns out once again. Sound is enjoying these banana peaks now, and well, they're working out pretty well for him, so I guess you can't really, you can't fault them at this point. A 5-on-2 already in play, and Sapik and JW really are just going to hold out and wait and see if maybe a player or two will get a bit antsy and push towards them.
Well, there's the antsiness. JW finds at least one before he goes down. Sapek looking for a little more. Will be Snacks on the angle, and Snacks is up to the task. A 5th round. Relatively cleanly found. Just the one casualty. Sound taking a dink on the chin, followed by a deagle bullet, which did that little bit more. But as we get towards the death of this first half, it's beginning to look like X-Finest could have a really solid recovery here. If they deal with the rifles out of this one, should at least be able to get a 7-round CT side, which is not something we thought we'd be saying early on in this series. Decent enough buy, though, for the Eyeballers to try and change the picture. 4 AKs. Flusher the only person dropping down, and the call is aggression. They know how important this round is, X-Finest, and they want it. Free kill will be traded by JW at the very least, and Snacks can't quite find the headshot needed. Opening exchanges even in the 4-on-4. They're going to try and accelerate here at Eyeballers, and if they do, Snacks is currently completely alone out towards this A site. He's going to push the apartments, will be able to get Pepsor. Now they know the location of the AWP. What do they look to do? The man advantage in the hands of X-Finest as they creep Eyeballers this long smoke, and it leaves so many timings on the board. Bogdan takes the freebie, and at this point it's starting to splinter, it's starting to fall apart. It has fallen apart. X-Finest beautifully recovered.
Alma confirming that they'll be tying the scoreline up, and we'll still have a chance at even winning out the half, which seemed impossible a while ago. So yeah, this is looking really, really good. Snacks having a solid performance. Everyone else looking good as well. No one really trailing behind. It's been a team effort. Everyone has had their moments, which is always good to see. Slightly more than the previous pistol round investment that they were able to pull out. A bit more focused on the deagle, small bit more utility as well to try and at least make it costly, which won't really matter though. It's all about winning out this round at this point. Damage wouldn't really do too much for them with only the 1 round afterwards. A ton of utility put down, actually chipping away at 3 players already. Not going to make things easier considering they're already limited in weapons.
Yeah, I think Snacks hit the wall bang through the smoke, just to make Shine's life that little bit more complicated. As you said, economic damage no longer really the goal. It's about getting those picks, finding your way to steal around with nothing. JW first up on the corner, not able to hit the shot, but it's Flusher on the drive-by who will. Snacks responds with 1, but that A site again looking to be overrun. It Shocks inside of the pit with a lot to do. Snacks continuing to provide out towards long, and Shocks yet to be spotted has found another down to a single point of health inside of this smoke, but he's still fragging out. Nothing more they can do. Sound gets the timing onto Flusher, and we're at 7 apiece with a solid recovery from X-Finest, and one that Eyeballers might live to regret.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they were inevitably going to be heading towards a double-digit half, maybe 11 or 12 even, and obviously that stopped happening. 7-2, I believe, at one point. Good recovery since then from X-Finest. Yeah, I mean, last chance for Eyeballers to try and at least retain the lead heading into the second half. That'd still be a pretty good position. 7 isn't a terrible T side. It's momentum-wise, it has shifted heavily towards X-Finest over these past few rounds. Even the confidence, as you can see, willing to go aggressive down Banana. That backfired, though.
Good old Molotov spread. You could see the confusion on Sound there as he realizes he's taking damage when he didn't think he would be. Good counter utility, though, from the CT side. Zapek and Flusher chewing on it. Banana control will be taken, but at some cost. Eyeballers once again want to try and target this second site. Sound gets a boost up to try and give himself the best possible angle with the little HP he has. And all the while, Pepsor is just trying to keep the rotations on. He's just trying to keep the bodies in towards this A site. Has he done enough? The timing, the rotations are starting to make their way through. Snacks will be smoked off, won't quite be here in time. It's down to these two bastions of the B site. Sound loses his teammate early on and on limited HP, does all he can, buys enough of damage for that nade to get the kill. And with Shocks alive and inside of the back site, this starts to get very ugly. The bomb in no man's land. Pepsor and JW split. They have got the flank on, but Snacks has read it, misses his shot. Now they need to find him. They need to take out this AWP, and they do. JW in with another, and Bogdan is left to try and pick up the pieces. A 2-on-3 turned 2-on-1. Smoke picked up as well, salvaged off the Fallen to get that bomb down. And with JW out towards Banana, it's not planted for him. Pepsor caught by the timing through the smoke, but JW's having none of it. 8-7 as we head into the halftime, the narrowest of leads for the Eyeballers. Well, we had the narrative set. We had in our minds how this game was going to play out. Eyeballers with an electric start on the T side, but they lost their way. And X-Finest scrapped back to 7 rounds, have bought themselves a lifeline here. Admittedly, still eyeballers in the ascendancy, 8-7 at the half, and as they head over to this CT side, but the momentum very much feels like it's anyone's game now, Dean.
For sure, especially with this half only kicking off now. X-Finest, I mean, they have the chance to maybe pick it back up. All they lost was that final round in the half after a nice little streak, but eyeballers definitely have their opportunity also if they can kind of forget about how things went wrong there towards the end of that previous half. Here we go, executing towards the B bomb site. Shine was holding pretty passively. I mean, they'd taken a big gamble stacking things up around mid. That's not a very common play. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's paying off, at least in the initial moments. They will be very quick in their approach. Back up Banana. Flusha does what he can, taking 2 of them with him, and Pepsor steps up for the first of 3. With a big clutch being necessary, they've actually just doubled it up back in towards quad here, sticking together. Low health on Twist. He's likely going to play as the bait and then hope that Sound can continue to stay tucked in if necessary. Obviously wasting as much time as they possibly can beforehand. Catches the time and down to a single point of health, but he just swings and takes the kill. And with that, we're tied up at 8-8. X-Finest. They didn't manage to get the lead there in that previous half, but they have a shot at doing it here again. And they're not going to be up against very much in the round.
Not against very much at all. Like you said, an intriguing setup. I think Shine probably needed to stay alive there to really make it effective. Once they knew everyone was coming towards Banana, it became a little one-dimensional. Those Glocks up close and personal, able to trade it efficiently enough. So we end up here with Deagles and 5-7s to arm the CT side of eyeballers. Up against a pretty conservative buy from the T side. We saw 3 MAC-10s brought out by the eyeballers, this time just the 2. 3 rifles in play does give them the opportunity on the eyeballers' side to just do that extra bit of damage if they can find a few picks. Unfortunately, not to be in the opening moments as Shox opens things up, finds JW. Nice opening kill to find as well. It opens up that bracket control, gives the T-side options and denies so much information from this CT defense. Forced to turtle on their respective sites, and well, they are at least thinking about the B-site stack.
Yeah, just about getting Sapek over in time. He could still pretty easily be blocked off by a bit of utility though. So Shine and Flusha are going to be the main 2 here to get the job done. A decently timed Molly as well. Should at least delay to push through. It actually lets Sapek push himself in towards the pool as well. Doesn't come away with that kill as he will get spammed down by Snacks, but he gave a bit of assistance and they might expect 2 more at this point. So it doesn't really look like it's going to matter too much. Flusha had even wrapped back around towards the spawn side of things, maybe expecting the push on that side. Unfortunately, his teammate then falls in on the bomb site. He's locked out, and well, we'll see if he can even take this kill onto Snacks, who's already pushed deep into the spawn. Spraying him down. Flush is screwed. He's trapped in here. At best, he maybe gets a kill out of this. Even then, that'd be a bit of a miracle.
Take a lot. I mean, he can maybe try and hold them inside of this site. Problem is, Snacks, as you said, with 85 health, just jumping and gunning, able to find his freebie. Pepsor last up. Will be given his opportunity. They're X-team down Banana. There's low HP bars to play with, but as he finds the first, he's traded. And 2 of the 3 rifles will make it through to the next round. Not a bad result for X-Finest. Full eco to follow as well. So those 2 MAC-10s brought up into this one will have an opportunity to farm themselves some cash, get some rifles out into the next. And suddenly, what was a very, very promising picture for the eyeballers suddenly starts to look that little bit more worrisome.
Yeah, I think they are very worried at this point. I mean, we have Vertigo coming up next, right? It's a map that they're certainly capable of playing, but it's X-Finest choice. It's one of their most played in recent times as well, alongside Ancient, so managed to steal this one with the current pace that they're going at, and could potentially be X-Finest on track for a 2-0. Pistol's done a decent bit of damage there anyway. There was the 1 kill, unfortunately not really getting a chance to do anything with the weapon that was dropped, and they are just cleaned up nice and quickly afterwards. Single casualty, they can get away with that. It was only Snacks who goes down. He's 21 and 8. He needed another death there anyway. It was getting a bit too far out of hand. Remind him he's only human, you know.
suppose the only silver lining is they don't really go down to the MAC-10s, the pistols taken out by the AKs and the Galils, but that is really stretching for a win as eyeballers. Well, they're stretching themselves financially into this one. Flusher down onto the MP9. Trying to get that extra little bit of utility. Play up close and personal around Banana. HE should do some work. Somehow goes missing. Looked like it was dead set for Snacks, but just not quite to be. And now, with multiple bodies ready and waiting, Flusher playing on a knife's edge, very nearly caught. Manages to retreat off the angle just about, but it's a four-man lean very early on out towards this B site. And Flusher, he wants more. The flashbang in, but there's too many bodies. The MP9 can't get anything done when there's four men staring it down. With the man advantage now established, you can see X-Finest, they were thinking about just bursting that B site, but they can slow this right down. Shox is still lurking bracket. He's got decent information over towards A, and with a 2-2 split, whichever site they hit, they're going to go in with a significant advantage.
Yeah, still a bit split themselves, though. Two players probing around mid, just making that brackets control. Restricting the info for eyeballers, who are also playing pretty passively, similar to the approach we had seen from X-Finest on their CT side. They're going to have to get a move on now. Just over 30 seconds remaining. There's still a molly back towards this B-bomb site as well, if this is where the push is coming in, which looks very likely, of course. That molly should be able to hold things off for a moment. Shine given some time here in the back of the bomb site.
Oh.
He can delay. That could be all they need. But JW going down in the meantime does not make things any easier. Caught around the edge of that smoke, I believe. The spam back from Twist as well. Gets that one done, and it's all on Shine now. He's in the back of the bomb site. There was so little time that I was wondering if he could somehow pull off some sort of miracle, but no, he's spotted by the off and zeroed in on. Good work by Snacks. X-Finest picking themselves a nice 11-8 lead, and that should be extended to 12. As at most, we're going to get some pistols and maybe some armor here from eyeballers.
That's one of those rounds where sometimes you just got to shrug your shoulders and things happen. Twist catching an initial wallbang while blind onto JW, a second through the smoke. M4A1S spamming the other way, so you don't even get that many tracers to work out where it's coming from, but still able to find the kill. With the lead at 3, it's back down to the pistols for the eyeballers. Shine looking for a little bit of magic, however. JW providing ample distraction as he flies through the air off of those sandbags at top B. That will be a rifle recovered now. Good damage in response, but Eyeballer's going to leave that 1 AK of Shine towards B. Give him a little more utility to work with and start to rotate these pistols back over towards A, trying to get any kind of firepower advantage they can find. And they've got very little to work with.
It's still going to be tough to convert. Ooh. Okay, JW. Whoa. Not sure what happened there. JW is helping out big time. You were mentioning your throat being a little bit sore. Apparently mine's really rough right now.
First cast back, it's always a spicy one.
Yeah, technically my second, as I'd done a best of 3 earlier on, but I took a nap afterwards. Because it was Asian CS, it was exhausting. But
nap resets the count. 2 AKs recovered now, though. And with rotation starting to make their way back over towards B, this aggression from Pepsor has opened up a huge opportunity. Execute will come in. AK nestles itself towards Dark, but it's dealt with by Twist. Boosted up for the pistols, but Bogdan has read it. And suddenly it's not such a good look for this CT side. A 3-on-5, which these Ts are looking to convert. JW doing what he can to turn the tide. Has managed to find Snacks. And Pepsor, I don't think they expect him to be this aggressive this quickly. A smoke to work around. Damage done to both of the remaining players. He snuck his way to first. Orange's bomb yet to go down. Flusher gets one, and Pepsor, nestled inside of the site, finds the other. The CT side around. They desperately needed the clock, their friend, at the end. And AWP saved the cross for JW as well. Will bolster the economy quite nicely. A chance at redemption, perhaps, for the eyeballers.
How the hell did that happen? After it got brought back into the 3-on-3 of 2 players barely alive as well, I think, yeah, this one's over. But apparently not. They were able to make it work somehow, and well, that gives them at least an opportunity to get going here on the CT side before things got completely out of control. So let's see if they can capitalize. Still have to win out this one. Even with that, there'll be money left on most of the players to scrape together another buy on the T side. So the pressure is going to remain on. And well, the peek from Sepek in towards middle does not pay off. The flash came in. He actually got blinded by JW, I believe. And he's just been having a very rough game. 4 and 16 right now.
Not been his finest moment, and with that man down, they need a response. Pepsor, the one to provide it, takes the head clean off of Shock as he just walks that little bit too far around in towards short. It's a decent enough setup here for the CT side. Shine will be able to call that long control is being conceded. Two-man play with JW, the spearhead on short. Shine able to rotate as well. It's a decent hold, but the problem is they're not going to be tested. Instead, they double back X-Finest. They work their way back up Banana, and with 48 seconds left on the clock, they've got plenty of time to do this. A good amount of utility as well. Snacks left on the lurk, picks off the over-aggression of JW, and that may well just cause an entire rotation. Flusher was thinking about it. T-side smoke will make him second guess, and now with 30 seconds left, I mean, either bomb sites you pick, X-Finest, where do you want to go?
Together at this point, just ensure the trades are going to be possible, and well, it is over towards B. At least Snacks catching the rotation. Doesn't quite land the shot, though, and actually takes a dink for his efforts. That's making things pretty complicated. Manages the trade, at least. But again, Shine is ready, and there's only 11 seconds. There's nothing the Sound can do about this one. The round is done. Eyeballers getting themselves a 10 tier off the back of Shine's kill, and well, just staying alive. One round in the difference. AK at least carried over, should confirm that they'll be buying. Twist can drop one over to Snacks, and everyone else can buy for themselves just about. Bogdan won't have great utility, but still, he'll get the rifle. So it's all there, but it won't be there again unless they can start actually winning some rounds real soon.
I thought that extra space and that extra time would be a blessing for X-Finest. It very quickly turned into a curse there. I think just treading on their own tails. Going back and forth and back again. Never seemingly managing to decide which side they favoured. And as a result, just opening up that little bit of space for the individuals to come through. Shine and Pepsor with critical kills, buying the extra time needed. This time it's early aggression over towards B. A three-man lean. Bogdan's taken the nades, but he soldiers on. With the execute actually coming out very early on in proceedings here. The double smoke, a second molly through from the CT side. They're doing a good job of bleeding the utility on the X-Finest side of things. But they need a little more than that as the rotations come through. There's still smokes available. Shine and Flusher still doing a fantastic job of preserving their own utility. X-Finest entirely in on this B-bomb site, however.
Too much damage off of that nade. A bit too deep, unfortunately, but they do still have a molly. They have what they need to delay at least a small bit on this push. Unfortunately, Shine goes straight down. Again, the molly was still in place, so at least his teammates have gotten in a bit closer, but Flush is still going to have to try and hold off from the back of his bomb site alone for a few moments, and, well, he's making it work. She drops the bomb. He'll end up committing just a small bit too much. Was hoping his teammates spam through the smoke, had that player distracted, but not quite. They do have the numbers advantage, though, and time is beginning to run relatively low. The problem is now the bomb will be planted, so it's no longer a factor, and we're back into the 2-on-2. Hoping this boost here would give something to JW as they were trying to position themselves for the after plant, but no one showing themselves.
Almost caught it onto Sapek. Snacks even, but not quite able to. Not catching their own teammate. And this is a nice little setup now. Sound just needs to stay quiet out towards these coffins. Should get the fuse any second now, and indeed he does. Free kill. JW, nothing to do. Retreats deep in towards spawn. He is going to be hunted, and a little bit awkward there. He hits the fire hydrant, but he will get away with it. Bomb ticking down. JW posted on this angle. We'll just retreat that extra bit further, make it absolutely sure the AWP remains, but it's a 12th round for X-Finest regardless. And a round that once again shatters that CT economy. They've had a couple of miracles going down to the last couple of players, the last man on one occasion to get it done. And that never leaves your CT economy in a particularly sparkling spot. Looking decidedly grimy as they get the buy together. Two P250s, a 5.7 and a Deagle to flank the saved AWP. And well, JW, I think we need a little bit of that magic here if they're going to have some kind of say in this round, the Eyeballers.
Theory Vertigo up next. Could be X-Finest's chance to end this 2-0 at this rate. My ballers have been missing really since that initial streak of rounds. We've only seen glimpses of what they've been capable of since, and well, with the current buy, I'm not expecting it to turn around right now either. X-Finest already with the man advantage, moving a bit quicker over towards A. We'll be heading towards a bit of a stack, to be honest, with 3 players in position. Definitely want to be careful. They do not have to make this commitment fully happen quite yet. They've got full mid control, they have brackets, they can wait for the response to come in from eyeballers, who of course are lacking info, are lacking weaponry, and are lacking manpower, so they do have to kind of take a lot more risks than X-Finest are forced to do.
Back in just about everything. They've opted to turtle, however. And it's not a bad little setup, you have to say. Key potentially is Sound over towards this B site. If he can find the kill onto Shine, play the timing of a fading smoke, then maybe he calls this back. He calls it over towards the B site, and that's exactly what he manages. A quick kill should shortly confirm that this one's wide open, and indeed they will disassemble the A site hit right when it looked to walk into the jaws of the beast. B site is clear. He screams as Pepsor will at least find an exit kill, an AK-47 to take through to the next round. But that bomb's going down regardless. This round is going the way of X-Finest regardless. Nice save, though, you have to say. Sapex managed to grab JW's AWP. Pepsor's got an AK. If Flusher can find one more kill here right at the death, it's not a bad result from a half-buy. And there it is.
Not bad. If he can get the weapon, it'd be nice, but it's not going to happen quite yet. After the bomb explosion, most likely, if he wants to. Either way, the 13th round is going to be allied onto the board for X-Finest. You might still see potentially a weapon or two being taken away here. Bogdan coming in through the apartments. Pepsor not showing himself quite yet, but Sapek in the pit, I was going to say, could be caught off guard if he continued moving in quietly there, but deciding it's not really worth it, I guess, in the end. Keep his own weapon. Ensure that they're going to have what they need if at some point here they do need to rebuy, and ensure that they don't let this lead slip away that they've managed to get themselves going. And this is pretty much perfect in terms of what you're asking for here on the eyeballer side of things. Only a single up, but I think I'd rather that rather than the double up that they had going earlier on.
Interesting little buy this for X-Finest. Twist had the money to get an AK, opted instead for the aggression of a MAC-10, and well, it very nearly works out. The trades just about hold on for the CT side of Eyeball as the Molotov of Shine finishing the job. Problem is, the 3-on-3 is by no means a favourable position for a CT side. You can see the aggression here from Pepsor. It's Sapek to back him up, but it leaves a very isolated JW over towards B. Has got the utility to stall it out. Does he dare try and take the time to pull the pin is the issue. Flash around the corner. There will be a fast flank on this. But JW needs to get something done. Trained, scoped deep in towards Banana. He lies in wait. Flicking the scope. Grabs himself the first. Now just needs to buy time, needs to wait. Pepsor, he knows, is working his way back around that flank. JW drops all his util. Every second counts, and he knows it. Manages to transfer the new box as Sapek deals with Snacks, and it leaves Sound. A 1v3 to contend with. The aggression perfectly timed from the CT side. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, he at least has bomb on his back. Dinked up in the opening engagement, down to just 13 points of health. He's got a smoke. Looks to isolate Pepsor, but he'll play ahead of it. JW knows exactly where to look as well. That scope trained deep, misses the first shot, but the pistol will come out to finish. Eyeballers were never going to go quietly here, and they're one more buy away from breaking the economy of Finest.
Yeah, I mean, it is looking like it could be kind of just the previous half, but flipped on its head potentially here if Eyeballers can keep this up. Finest putting everything into this buy, and even with that you see Snacks and Sound both left on just pistols. Snacks actually with a P250, not really what you'd normally expect to be seeing on a full buy here on the T side. That's how little he was able to afford. Did he maybe drop one of the rifles, or he was just completely broke with just 1400, I guess? Either way, a bit of a slower round from X Finest. Expecting maybe some initial peaks. We've seen it around Banana a few times and such. But not really getting too much coming through. Not a lot of utility being kind of tossed away for eyeballers either. Not in the initial moments anyway. I think they were gambling that it wasn't going to be a straight up rush. Only now beginning to put them down, and the timing of the nades actually find pretty decent. Yeah, sound down to 1, twist on 35 as well. They'll need to try and shuffle that AK maybe over to Snacks.
That's very nearly a perfect double nade stack. Ton of damage done. Buys them a lot of breathing room as well. I think the aggression not coming through because eyeballers weren't quite sure what this buy was going to be. Handful of AKs, and Shox has managed to open things up with the first. Sapek, as you said, had a rough old game and continuing to do so. Needs his AWP to bail him out, and Pepsaw at JW, well, they oblige. A quick headshot followed up by a wallbang. Buys them that extra little bit of space. The P250 of Snacks desperately trying to just do anything it can. But flying through the skies, Air Snacks will not be able to land the kill it's after. Flashbang back into short is perfect for Pepsaw, and yes, it's traded by Sound, but now they know where the last man is. And once again, he's asked of a 1v3, at least this time, a little bit more room to maneuver. Shine on good amount of health, but he's going to get caught surely on timing. Just about manages to make it back around the corner, and then we'll deal with the low HP of Sound to finish the job. With just 1 round in it, the economy completely breaks for X Finest, and this one's going down to the wire.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it. Not in the initial moments when eyeballers started running away with the scoreline, and then not afterwards when X Finest managed to take control throughout the remainder of that half. And the beginning of this one as well, it looked like they were continuing on with solid performance. It's been a struggle now over these past few. JW receives a few dinks. The molly and the nade, though, so much damage going to be done. It's actually not as much as I was expecting. Only 2 of them decided to commit true, which is probably for the best, and they all would have been dead by now. But I think they're on the way here either way. It was just a slightly delayed bus.
Death comes for us all, but it was coming for X Finest very swiftly indeed there. Nice little play from JW. That experience, I think, showing out there, knowing that there's always that risk, right? Once you get dinked up in those early rushes, you need to get out fast, and you need to get that util down to buy you time. Exactly what he manages to do, levels things out, and now, well, we're starting to get towards last chance saloon for both sides of the equation here. A little more money to back up the eyeballers at least. They've got an extra buy in the back pocket. X Finest, if this one goes south, probably looking at map point before they can buy again. Full AK's brought out, but not a lot more than that. A little bit of utility already expended in these opening moments. Heavy B presence shown initially from the CT side has funneled this T side offensive deep in towards B. And into the setup here, JW and Pepsaw, they are ready and waiting, but a missed shot from the AWP, a missed flick from Pepsaw. And a man advantage that X Finest should not have had.
Oh, it's the first time in a while they've been able to find an uncontested opener as well. See what the response is from eyeballers. They've actually shifted heavy attention over towards A, leaving Flusha with an MP9 alone on B. A well-timed smoke at least should keep them at bay for the moment, but if they were to just burst through, then he's going to be in trouble, and I think that's what's going to happen. Up close and personal. Flash still gets away with 1, which is a bit of a miracle. Or at least fortunate. AW also tagged up heavily. This is going to be a tough retake, and it's not getting any easier as the numbers continue to dwindle. Shine gets absolutely shut down in towards construction, and well, they have no option other than to save really at this point. They have the money, sure, but there's no point of just throwing away these 2 weapons when you can carry them through. Perhaps stabilize your economy for that little bit longer in the future.
Yeah, I don't want to give the AWP over to X Finest as well. Even with it being Inferno, given Snacks, who's currently leading the way on the T side. Matched only by JW in frags on CT. Don't want to be giving that big green gun to him. 14th on the board, though. X Finest, right when they were at breaking point, able to pull a round out the back pocket. Still, the economy will be there, however, for the eyeballers. They will be buying till the death if things continue to go the way they have. Ex-Finest, a slightly different picture. Not quite able to build up that same bank account. Life could get very difficult for them if we level out at 14 all, if Eyeballers are able to pick this round up. The question is, what do they look to change? They had the perfect setup in the previous, the two-man apps play, ready and waiting, but a couple of missed shots, a couple of missed opportunities were punished, and now JW wants to make amends. Nearly the opening pick he was so desperately craving. Instead, it's the leg. Shox goes down to 13. With a three-man push through the apps, the counter-aggression down Banana could be critical. It's allowing for a heavy-handed rotation away, or at least it was. Flusher has had to rotate back with the utility to drop his own smoke. But once again, it is Ex-Finest with a heavy lean towards this A site, and it's not a lean that's gone unnoticed just yet.
Real concrete info though, restricted by that smoke in towards middle, and there is still a ton of time as well, so it really was just an attempt to force out that bit of utility that Eyeballers had remaining, and they've done a pretty good job with it as well. There's a smoke and 2 flashes and a molly. Already that smoke being put down as well. They've been entrusting Flusher with a lot, just solo and B with an MP9.
It's the right call for now.
Oh, they're sending JW back around. Started to doubt their decision just as it seems the commitment might actually come in.
25 seconds left. Very limited time for the Eyeballers. JW will be back towards this A site, but will it be in time? 3 up short already. Charging into the site. The crossfire's established, and the crossfire works out flawlessly. Snack's the only man to find anything out of the apps, and he grabs a second, but it'll never be enough. The 3-man setup, they just held and held inside of that A site. Did not move a muscle until the T's were almost on top of them. By that point, the crossfire was inch perfect. 14 all. And the economy is in tatters for Ex-Finest. Still not taking the pause, mind. Still just about scraping this buy together, but with 2,400 on the loss bonus, this is it. 2 AKs, a Galil, and a smattering of pistols and SMGs, all that stand between Eyeballers and an almost inevitable map point. Have Ex-Finest got anything up their sleeves to turn this one?
Good nade. Shox and Snacks being naded up there a bit in the apartments, not making things any easier. It's just shocking we've ended up at this scoreline. I was not expecting it. Seemed like we were going to have a bit of a looser warm-up game. Maybe it would have picked up afterwards, but no. Just took a few rounds, half or so for both teams to find their footing. Pepser towards the pit, rather playing under the hay bale. Only able to come away with the one. It looked like the second was going to be his. Just a bit overwhelmed in the end, and well, with a smoke down on Moto now, the best they can do is maybe cut off this rotation in through mid. Even then, I don't know if they'll catch the time. And it's actually the Mac 10 that wins out the exchange in terms of damage. They tried to force the issue, and it will work out, isolating that Mac 10, but a good bit of damage put in towards 2 players.
And not a fun retake either for a CT side. 3v4 into that A site. A double mini pit setup for Ex-Finest. Re-smoke towards long. That bomb's already halfway ticked. They're going to have to disrespect it. The nade stack goes in. It doesn't find its mark. Flash through the smoke twist. First up on the chopping block. He goes down. Bogdan able to find the response though. And Bogdan grabs a second. They're going to defuse this in and amongst the smokes. JW knows he just has to buy time and he'll do one better. The collateral out of the AWPA to find map point.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it. I think he would have probably been okay with the defuse either way, but really the only way to ensure that no one was reaching the bomb site there was to get both of the kills in one shot. So, yeah, really best case scenario from JW would get them up onto 15, and Eyeballers might just have this victory in their back pocket after all. This will be heartbreaking if Ex-Finest have fought their way all the way back up to 14 just to let it slip away in such a fashion as well. Looking positive, it was looking like they had a good opportunity. Well, Sound gives them a good opportunity to kick off this potentially final round, the 30th one anyway. Man advantage. Ooh, a bit of nade damage taken back in return though.
Man advantage is all they'll care about. They've got utility to try and exploit this. It's a close setup, top Banana. One plays anti-flash, the Molotov won't deter him, but the flashbang will need him to turn up. Shine only able to get the one. Sapak, he's had a rough old game here, has to drop back. Snacks looking to disrespect the smoke, will be punished, but immediately again the trade is there and no CT smoke. JW's nade just about finds the trade. And it's a 1v2 from Pepsor to prevent overtime here. Needs to find an early kill. Twist nestled into Banana. Bogdan puts himself top of Dark. It's one of those ratty angles, the least likely to be cleared. Pepsor does have a kit. Decent bit of utility, but he's got to isolate these 1v1s, and he's not going to expect Bogdan, surely not. Up on the high ground, the nade goes into New. He'll be traded cleanly here, and it's going to be overtime. Overtime in map 1 as we head to the break. Scrappy till the last, and we are not done yet. 15 all as we head into the overtime. Both teams, of course, staying on their respective sides. Not that it's made much of a difference to anyone in particular. 8-7 turns 8-7 as it's fast up Banana for Sharks. They want to get this done quickly. Sapek at least able to trade his teammate's death, but now caught nade in hand, desperately tries to get that smoke down, tries to do something, and over the top of it, he finds 2 more. He had a rough old regulation, but straight off in the overtime, a triple kill over towards the B site. Keeps his team in this one almost single-handedly as well. It's just Sound and Snacks remain. Working their way out towards B. The smokes go out to try and give them room to lurk it. Fast rotation will be available. Sapek just has to stay alive, just has to buy time as Pepsor and JW charging their way down mid, looking to support. Thus far, not tested. And that will actually slow the flank as well. Unaware of maybe a flank through CT in towards that B site. Still a distinct possibility as Sapek yet to see any kind of contact. Now he sees the HE. Surely they start to make the rotation. Surely they start to buy time as Sapek, with his fourth of the round, just fades away from Snacks. Low on HP, but it's not going to matter. Snacks trying to find the edge of the site to get that bomb down. Spam through the smoke to a single point, and Pepsor, well, he'll steal the ace. But it's a magnificent effort from Zapek over towards B.
Oh, my thing was muted. Oops. That's it. That's a big one. Pretend that never happened. Everyone can hear me now, so we're all good. But a tough round for X Finest for sure to swallow there. Stopped by one man on what looked like it was going to be a successful B play. Oh, Cheyenne taking a bit of damage, but honestly getting away pretty fortunately considering that was an op shot he took.
A little lucky, as you said, not to take more.
Oh.
JW, though, caught by shocks on a wrap, and suddenly this A site feels under siege. Pepsor will find one and Shine, well, picking up that AWP has given his position away. Snacks trained on it. The flashbang will at least ward him off. T-side with decisions to make. Flusher again has been trusted with solo control of that B site. No utility either to even stall this one out. So as the nades come over, it's a decision to make. And through the smoke, he brings Sound down. 43 HP as the hit comes in. Now spamming through further. Can't quite connect. The AWP still remains over towards A. Still lies in wait. Still lurks this one out. Shine trying to spam through. Can't connect. And it becomes a game of timings now with that AWP looking for the backstab. Snacks slowly but surely working his way through long. How long can his three teammates hold out is the question. The double flashbang is perfect. They don't even need the flank. Twist and Bogdan combine. The clean set of kills that leaves Flusher initially the lone hold on B. Now the lone retake. The Lone Ranger trying to find anything he can. Taps away at one more, but that bomb is already so far gone. There's nothing to be done. And Snacks, where he just waits. Misses the shot. Won't be able to quite punish Flusher. As the smoke goes down to buy that AK a little bit more space to save. But it's a round on the board for X Finest. And this one just keeps going back and forth, Dean.
Yeah, there's just nothing that can separate them. Neck and neck at the moment. An extra AK on the floor there for some reason. Maybe for Snacks if he wants it later on. It is the final round of the half, of course, so may as well drop it. Tied at 16-16 again. If X Finest can come out with the second round here on the T side, they'll be looking pretty good heading into that second half. Eyeballers. Let's see what the plan is. Nothing too crazy again. Initial peek from JW. Doesn't really get anything from it. Decides to just back off and... Well, they've actually initially had a bit of a stack towards B. Unfortunately, they decide to cancel the stack pretty much as it looks like X Finest they're actually beginning to favor towards B. It was for a moment anyway. For now, they're going to send the bomb back down. Lots of time. They've got a bit of presence around mid, even with just the smoke that they put over towards long. So it does have eyeballers at the very least questioning what's happening. Using a lot of their own nades as well.
Yeah, most of the mollies now placed over towards that B site with the stack coming through. A little bit of nade shuffling. But it does look like they want to finish B here, X Finest. For now, that call to put the extra utility out there seems like the right one. And indeed, as they back out of this bracket control, it could be the genius play here. There's two mollies in towards CT. If Shine can get them down with good timing. He can buy 20 seconds minimum. First goes out. There is another one somewhere around in that spawn. Flusher drops his. Shine indeed has picked up another one as the exec comes through. A third Molotov goes down. More time for X-Finest. They have to sit. They have to wait. The rotations surely have to come through. Sound clean through. They will enter the site. And now Flusher with it all to do, but he can't get anything. It's 2 lightning quick kills for Bogdan and Shox, and it's a B site. Completely overwhelmed. It looked like they had all the utility in the world, but it just didn't last long enough. And at this point, yes, there's damage onto every single one of these players, but a 3-on-5 retake, always a tough ask, and they're going to have to give it a go. Last round of the first half of OT. Flashes go in, they're trying to isolate these early fights. Sapek gets one, but the trade is immediate. The same is said of Pepsor, and well, JW 1v2. The Orpa trying everything he can, but Snacks will put him down. And as you said, Dean, a second T-side round for X-Finest, headed onto the CT side of Inferno. An opportunity now to steal their opponent's map pick.
It was a slightly miraculous one as well, considering the mollies that were just piling down on that entrance. So good work. I mean, if they didn't get those 2 kills instantly as they did, they probably wouldn't have even had a chance to get the bomb planted. So great work. Eyeballers now are going to need a flawless half coming onto their own T-side if they want to be taking the win here and now. They'll need all 3 for themselves. X-Finest, on the other hand, kind of have the safety of only needing at least 1 to confirm the second overtime. It's always a nice little security. Hopefully won't be sitting too long here between the halves here as well. Get right back into the action while they while they're on a roll, in the case of X-Finest, I suppose. Eyeballers maybe wanting the moment to get a breather.
I think needing those extra few seconds.
Look at that spawn for Twist.
Surely has to go for it. Peek through bedroom wouldn't be out of the question based on that
Peek down
positioning.
the stairs even, if you want to push true apps.
Problem is, he's the B player and he's looking towards B, so he's just going to waste that spawn entirely.
I thought they might have just taken the spawn for the sake of it, because you don't really get them too often.
Happy to just trust their default. Came back into that first half brilliantly with it, so can't blame them. Shox looking to press the issue, and there is Sapek here. He's a little isolated, a little out in no man's land. Shox gets a gift. Nobody even close to a trading position for that. Snacks would have had them if they were. Early man advantage the way of X-Finest, and that's exactly what they need. They know the pressure's on the opposition here. 2 CT rounds, and X-Finest has stolen Eyeballers map pick. With the man disadvantage, Eyeballers need to try and stop that happening.
I mean, Eyeballers, of course, are the ones who have the pressure on them to make something happen here. X-Finest sitting with the advantage already, are managing to conserve their utility decently well also, so let's see what can be done. Molly down, actually does force the bomb alone forward. Sound took the decision to go in through the spawn instead, and it worked out for, Flusha did. Worked out for him to get 1 kill, unfortunately, in on the bomb site. His teammates are not really finding the same level of success, and Sound actually made his way all the way over towards the spawn. He's like, alright, you can have the bomb site, I've got the advantage, and, well, trade ensured above the smoke there as well, and the JW keeps that advantage going their way, and, well, Flusha heavily commits to that fighting on the spawn. Not a bad idea, he had the chance to force the one-on-one while the other player was still wrapping around through construction, but unfortunately, a bit of a shaky spray, it doesn't work out for him. That's 18 on the board now, and with that map point,
2 map points secured. And this is where it becomes most dangerous for Eyeballers. This is where the pressure is off X-Finest. This round, really an opportunity to try something a little different. See if maybe you can catch your opposition off guard. You've got a free roll of the dice in all regards. Full buys out, AKs and the 1 AWP. And here's the roll of the dice. Shox. Aggressive down middle. Well posted for Pepsor if he looks around the corner, but he can't quite rein the spray in. Significant damage done. HE to try and dunk and finish the job, but it won't quite find its mark. What should have been an opening man advantage for X-Finest swings the other way in a matter of seconds. As Eyeballers look to try and take full advantage of this, they're looking for a quick pop in towards B. There's a counter flash to come through. The timing is everything, though, and Twist able to just about wrestle two back. Sound grabs one more and tagged through the smoke by JW. It won't be enough. His teammate's on 7 HP. They need a plan B, and it looks like back towards A site is the call. Snack spots it. AWP in hand, the low HP bars won't be as much of a concern, but he's well placed. He's ready and waiting. Doesn't shoot the first time round. Straight back to sight. Wants a second bite at this one. Front of Grave, placed beautifully. Deals with JW. Pepsaw last up, can find the first. The no-scope doesn't quite collide, and with 7 HP, Pepsaw looking for the miracle in the 1v2. Molotov forces him that little bit further out of position, but that shot somehow misses. And that will be that X-Finest. Will take Inferno off of the Eyeballers. I do not know where that AWP bullet went, Dean, but it's going to be the undoing of them.
I think he was slightly backing up still because the molly looked like it may have still spread a small bit more. He was already tagged down to 1 health from it as well, so that was just kind of crazy there in the end. He had no chance at all of winning that 1-on-2. Well played out with the molly tossed in to stop him from repositioning once he got the bomb planted. So, yeah, good work. X-Finest managed to get the victory. It's a very, very close one, and well, did it take a very difficult fight from them as well? I'm trying to remember the exact score. I think it was 7-2 at one point for Eyeballers on that initial half before it just completely fell apart for them.
Completely fell apart at the seams, and it's opened up a massive opportunity for X-Finest now, having scrapped their way back into it, scrapped their way through pretty much the entire second half, right? That CT side was back and forth. It never really had the stability that it wanted. They've now taken their opposition's map pick. Now they head to Vertigo, which, you know, by the stats, by the numbers, is even closer than this one. But we said it, you know, X-Finest picked this map. They've got to have a reason. There's got to be something in the back pocket that they think they can maybe exploit to get it done on this one. And, well, the pressure is well and truly on the Eyeballers.
Yeah, confidence-wise, it's got to be going